I had a really bad ear infection recently, and it gave me some tinnitus for a week or two. Started off like loudish cicadas, but it's gone a couple of weeks later. And I've been working with some clients recently who've had tinnitus for a while. And it's just so interesting comparing the different approaches to tinnitus. Because of my experience, I know it'll go away, so it doesn't bother me at all. It really was like an old friend. Oh, yeah, of course, I'm bound to get tinnitus if my ears are really deaf and horrible, blocked feeling, very disorientating. And there's lots of irritation in the body, so that irritability is bound to go up. So my response was, gosh, I need to get my ears sorted. I'll get the right medicine and I'll start tending to myself. And I just need to step up self-care. A lot of people, when they're really struggling with tinnitus, they're still giving themselves a really hard time. The harsh, bullying self is saying, when is this going to get better? Why hasn't it got better? I've had it for 6 months. I've had it for 300 years. If it hasn't gone by now, it's never going to go. And this really hard, tyrannical self that can really hate itself and really turn in and give oneself a hard time. This is incredibly stressful. And I'm one of these people. I've learned not to be one of these people, but I definitely was in the past. The bullying self really makes it worse. And when we can catch this harsh, kind of nasty part of ourselves, giving ourselves a hard time, we need to step back and go, whoa, 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 gosh, I'm doing it again. I'm being so tough on myself. Just listen to those thoughts going through my head. We can be really our own worst enemies, and we can rattle our nervous systems with our harsh sides, or our great expectations, or frustration, or impatience, anger. These are all very fiery, activating states of mind. So it's incredibly helpful to learn to be kind to yourself and to start tending to yourself. I think a really helpful model is to think of the adult and the child. So when you start giving yourself a hard time, God, I hate you, Julian. You're just useless. No wonder people don't like you. No wonder you can't see your mother and the family have cut you out. And, all these nasty things. You can really give yourself a hard time. If you soften that and you see that you're struggling and you see how harsh you're being to yourself, you can start to look after yourself. You can start to learn to be kind to yourself and start to tend to your wounded heart or your anxious chest or your knotted up stomach or your frozen throat or the be quiet, the face that's been told to shut up and have to swallow all the feeling. When you can be your friend and you can start being kind and compassionate and understanding, and you can start looking after yourself and start seeing what your needs are and tending to them, this is colossally different. In my book, Tinnitus from Tyrant to Friend, we can be the tyrant and we can bully ourselves. Often we've learned these behaviors from relationships around us. But if you turn that into, gosh, what's going to make me feel better? What's going to make my life feel more wonderful? I've got tinnitus. It's annoying me. Gosh, what's going to help me? What do I feel like? How am I coping with this? What's going to help me settle? The moment you start catching this harsh, bullying self, you can see how you're giving yourself a hard time. You can start saying, whoa, 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 whoa. Come on. And you can actively start tending to yourself and hopefully soothing yourself, getting support, meeting up with kind, understanding people, and you can start to soften. But why is it not getting better? One day it's got like this, and the other day it's like that. This why energy. Generally, it's much better to step back and acknowledge that being kind and calming and getting help and support, your nervous system settles and the alarm bells stop ringing. Generally, that's true. You don't want to fight the tinnitus, you don't want to avoid it. Ideally, you want to let it be here and settle so that you can switch off. There are ups and downs. You don't want to be too prescriptive about exactly what makes it better and what makes it worse. Just be a bit fuzzy. Just generally look after yourself. Let it be here. And all the while you're wanting to just let go and switch off. So the way you move around the house, if you're moving slowly, if you're moving kindly, if you're approaching yourself in a kind, gentle way, your nervous system's going to feel a hell of a lot safer. And if you're hearing a nasty sound and you're imagining somebody pointing a gun at you, or a tiger about to pounce on you, or a monster, it's going to be pretty horrible. But if you just see it for what it is, it's a sound like a washing machine or a plane taking off. And how can you help yourself settle with this? The thing itself actually is not a monster. It's an irritation. Of course, you don't want it there. But the best approach is to let it be here. Be a bit grey and fuzzy with the whys and wherefores. And always come back to tending to yourself, being kind to yourself, being compassionate to yourself, and looking after yourself. This is what's going to help your nervous system feel safe and come out of the fight or flight response.